No Country for Old Men, a film that's as brutal as it is unforgettable. It's a story that haunts its audience long after the credits roll. But what if the dark truths about the cast behind the iconic characters are even more chilling than the movie itself? Today, we're diving into the unsettling truths and hidden struggles of the actors behind this Oscar-winning masterpiece. Number 1. Javier Bardem. Bardem's portrayal of Anton Chigurh is unforgettable. A haunting, relentless hitman who embodies pure chaotic evil. But while Bardem's chilling performance captivated audiences, few realize the internal struggles he faced both before and during the making of the film. Bardem has been open about his battles with self-doubt. Though he grew up in a family of artists and actors in Spain, Bardem felt burdened by the expectations placed on him to uphold his family's legacy. Despite being a versatile and acclaimed actor, he's admitted that he frequently felt overwhelmed by insecurity, feeling he says has haunted him throughout his career. Adding to his struggles, Bardem faced intense ethical conflicts about violence. Taking on the role of Anton Chigurh, one of the most brutal villains in film history, forced him to confront his own discomfort with portraying such dark, violent figures. Bardem has revealed that he has a deep aversion to aggression and violence, both on screen and in real life. In fact, his disdain for violence runs so deep that he initially refused the role of Chigurh. Bardem is an outspoken advocate against violence, often protesting it publicly and expressing discomfort with violent roles in film. He once shared that this aversion likely stems from a traumatic experience in his early 20s when he was severely beaten.
I was 19 years old, and then there was 3 or 4 guys talking. I said something to the girlfriend of one of his, nothing nasty, nothing bad, seriously. Like, hey, hello, how are you? Something like that. I went out, and they tapped on my shoulder. I turned, and this guy punched me in the face. They had fun with my face for a good 30 minutes. Kicking and doing everything. Finally, they left, and I saw my face in the mirror, and I said, okay, this is done. It's over. It's over before it started. This was hanging here, the nose was here, the jaw was there, and then I had the operation of the nose, and 1 year after I was doing the ages of Lulu. And when I asked him, why me? Well, because I like your nose. So, you never know. I hate violence, I can't take violence. I'm the less violent person you can imagine because I suffer it in my own skin, in my system.
Number 2. Tommy Lee Jones. Off-camera, Jones has battled with personal demons that have shaped his notoriously cold demeanor. He has spoken about struggling with a deep sense of isolation throughout his life. A self-proclaimed maverick, Jones has had a long history of falling out with directors, most notably with Batman Forever director Joel Schumacher, with whom he had a famously tumultuous working relationship. Reports from the set reveal that Jones was openly hostile toward co-star Jim Carrey and refused to even engage with him during the film's production. Jones has always been an extremely private individual, and his desire for seclusion stems from personal experiences that shaped his view of fame. In his younger days, Jones was stalked by an obsessed fan, an unsettling event that deeply impacted his relationship with the public eye. This experience fueled his growing mistrust of the media and the invasive nature of celebrity, prompting him to retreat even further into his private life. As a result, Jones has maintained a strong boundary between his personal and professional worlds, often shying away from interviews and public appearances, preferring a quieter, more controlled existence away from the spotlight. Number 3. Josh Brolin. Brolin has faced criticism over the years, including for his tendency to disregard personal boundaries in many social interactions. Known for his intrusive behavior, Brolin has reportedly made some of his fellow male actors uncomfortable by giving unsolicited kisses. One incident involved Jamie Foxx, who firmly declined to participate in Brolin's antics. When confronted about the backlash, Brolin brushed it off, saying, "I like men, it's just what I do, so what?" Josh Brolin has long been a vocal supporter of the gay community, frequently using his platform to advocate for inclusivity and stand up for what he believes is right.
I'm watching the TV yesterday, and I'm watching these protests go on, and then it turns into somewhat of a riot, and there's violence that ensues, and part of it is that's just another obstacle that the gay society and the gay movement has to deal with. I don't like it. I was very surprised that was happening in California. I understand it in another state, maybe, but in California I was extremely surprised. And I was surprised by the demographic that voted yes on 8, which obviously the Mormon community and whatever that is.
For them and this African American, the religious community and all that, they don't see it as a civil rights issue. They say, look, we're born colored, you're not born gay, which is a huge argument in itself.
They don't allow gay marriage right now in California, which is very surprising to me. But then again, at the same time, you know, there's still going to be, I don't understand what the fear is, because there's still going to be people kissing and holding hands, and I think that's what they're reacting to. They're not reacting to the marriage per se, they're reacting to the fact that, you know, me and my buddy are going to be swapping tongues.
During a heated exchange with politician Carter Hughes, Brolin playfully claimed that his character Lou Ellen Moss was actually gay, to which Hughes objected, noting that Moss was a married man. In response, Brolin famously kissed co-star Javier Bardem at the Oscars. This kiss, however, sparked significant backlash and was controversially censored during the live broadcast. A BC producers cut to an awkward 7-second shot of Cruz, an odd and unexplained choice that many saw as an attempt to avoid airing what they deemed an inappropriate, unscripted moment. Josh Brolin is no stranger to controversy, particularly following an arrest where he was found heavily intoxicated on a Santa Monica sidewalk. After being booked into jail, he was released about 6 hours later once he had sobered up. Brolin has openly struggled with alcoholism, and one of his key wake-up calls came from a public altercation outside a bar, where he was recorded punching a man he believed was trying to steal his then-boyfriend. However, it was later clarified that the man and his boyfriend were simply sharing a hug, not engaging in any inappropriate behavior.
We were just hugging. Josh like stops dead in his tracks, like it got his attention, and he's like, "Oh, good point," and like goes and hugs the guy.
When we asked him what happened, Josh was pretty honest and surprisingly didn't try to shrug it off.
Oh yeah, what happened, man?
What happened?
Yeah.
It's all out there.
Yeah.
I don't have to really say what happened.
This incident was a turning point for Brolin, who later spoke out about his struggles and the lessons he learned from those challenging times. Josh Brolin has been arrested multiple times for public intoxication, and you'd think that his experience in 2009 when he was pepper sprayed, handcuffed, and thrown into the back of a cop car would have been a wake-up call. Yet it clearly didn't deter his infamous behavior. Even while in the back of the cop car, he was recorded still goofing around and attempting to kiss a fellow actor, showing that his personal space antics were far from over.
Want a kiss? Want a kissy? I heard him. I'm gonna cage you. Yeah. I heard him. Jeffrey. I came here like at 5 o'clock in the morning looking for a pizza. And I said, what, it's like, you don't serve anybody after 5 or 5? Some shit like that. Josh, it was something like ridiculous. That I said to the chick. It's fucking bad. It's so bad. It's so bad you can't even say anything. You can't even say it. Just let me talk. But I've been here. This is my 7th time. I'm used to this shit. I'm used to this shit. I love it.
It's no secret that Josh Brolin sometimes struggles with social cues. In one instance, he shared a story about a text he sent to an actor, not realizing that by doing so, he was inadvertently outing the actor to the public.
Wrote a text to him last night and I said, I've really had a good time. Like, these things cannot be so fun, and then sometimes they can be fun. And I said,
you don't have to
no, I am going to tell you.
It was a love letter.
It was a love letter. It was a very intimate love letter that I felt really good about, not only how it was written, but the heart behind it. Yep. And then this morning I went down to the gym, and the first person I see, the only person I see in the gym is him. And you want to do nothing but avoid the person that you wrote the text to.
Among all these controversies, the most recent that Josh has got himself stirred up in is a rather weird poem he wrote about Timothée Chalamet.
Meanwhile, in publishing news, Josh Brolin wrote a bunch of poems for a behind-the-scenes Dune book, including one about Timothée Chalamet's cheekbones. That is absolutely beautiful, Josh. Bravo. Timothée Chalamet responded with a poem of his own, "Roses are red, violets are blue. I'm going to call HR on you."
So, as Super Bowl Sunday came to a close, I opened up Reddit to find a poem by Josh Brolin on r/poetry. Not long after discovering this poem's existence, I realized that Brolin was making headlines for it. Multiple outlets were reporting on this poem as it caused a bit of a stir. Part of the poem's virality no doubt came from its subject matter, Timothée Chalamet, one of the most presently discussed actors in the world, especially by the rising generations. Moreover, responses to the poem were perhaps more discussed than the poem itself. Here, before we go any further, let me just read the poem. Your face is etched by adolescence. Your cheekbones jump toward what are youth-laden eyes that slide down a prominent nose and onto lips of a certain poetry. And the way you hold my gaze makes me fear my own age. Because something in me tells me you are going to offer me something, and, for now, I'm not sure it's going to be something I want anymore. So perhaps you can already see why this poem created a lot of discussion online. For one thing, and there's really no other way to say this, but as the poem is written, it sounds like Timothée Chalamet is propositioning Josh Brolin for sex.
My 55-year-old coworker wrote a poem like this about me. I might be a little fucking creeped out. I don't think we should be seeing this. Fans are creeped out with Josh Brolin's poem for Timothée Chalamet.
What?
Yeah. Here, are you ready for it? I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do reading for you.
It is Hollywood. Just
this is a poem by Josh Brolin to Timothy. And I don't know about you guys, but I feel that Josh Brolin, Thanos, wants to fuck Timothée Chalamet. Right? Thanos here wants to do more than snap his fingers when it comes to good old Timothy. Right? I mean, if this wasn't Hollywood, I would not be surprised. But it is Hollywood. This is what these people do, and this is on BuzzFeed News, by the way, a dying website. But you guys can go on here and read this entire grotesque article and look at all these tweets of people, supporting this poem. Look at this right here. Josh, is there something you're not telling us? And then here is the GOAT, Tucker Carlson, right? Huge fan. Not every man could be so comfortable in their sexuality to write a poem about another man's looks. I applaud Josh Brolin. That's what these people are saying. They applaud him right here. Josh Brolin is an ancient Greek warrior poet, apparently. Right? Because that is what's popping in the streets, right? Older men who are pushing 60, publicly telling children that they want to fuck them. Now, of course, we know that Timothy here, he is not a actual child, right? Not that it matters to Josh Brolin, maybe. But my point is that, he's old enough to be his grandpappy. And yet again, he's still making these poems about him. And what? Was he drunk when he put this on the internet? Where? What? How the hell did he think this was gonna go down, huh?
Anyway. Yeah, that's so weird. Too.
Yeah, about his fucking young male co-star. You know what I mean? And some of that stuff, the way you hold my gaze.
The gaze is like
fear my own age.
Yeah, that's
you're gonna offer me something.
Talking about your lips. And your nose.
Your face is etched by adolescence. Just when you start off like that, it gets creepy. Yeah. And obviously, a lot of people are kind of reacting a
Did he say anything about it? Or he's just like, I just wanted to write a poem.
He's releasing a book full of his poems.
Oh,
I don't think we should be seeing this. Really? Why are actors so weird? We're not ready for this. Lock him in the tortured poets department. I refuse to believe he wrote this and went, perfect. Nothing odd about this. It's pretty fucking strange.
Whew. This is the type of stuff that a lovesick 14-year-old girl will write to their first crush. He's like a 50-year-old man. The way you hold my gaze, G-A-Z-E, not G-A, you get it, makes me fear for my own age, because something in me tells me you are going to offer me something, and for now, I'm not sure it's going to be something I want any more. This is a man writing this to another quote-unquote man. What, Josh? Can we get a wellness check on Josh Brolin? Can we do this? What the hell? Brolin isn't writing love poetry about his castmate, but just for the hell of it, or at least, why would you publish this? Like, you keep this shit to yourself. If you have these types of weird feelings, you just bottle them. You suppress them like everybody else.
Number 4, Woody Harrelson. Woody Harrelson has never been shy about speaking his mind. But during the COVID-19 pandemic, his remarks took a controversial turn. The actor made headlines for his outspoken views on the virus, government restrictions, and vaccinations, which many found unsettling. Harrelson publicly questioned the severity of the pandemic and even suggested that the virus was being used as a tool for political manipulation and control. He also raised eyebrows by suggesting that the pandemic might be part of a larger conspiracy, questioning the trustworthiness of the media and public health officials. In 2020, Harrelson shared a post on social media comparing the pandemic to a script that had been written long before the crisis, implying that the situation was being orchestrated. His comments sparked outrage, with many accusing him of spreading misinformation at a time when the world was grappling with a global health crisis. Despite the backlash, Harrelson remained defiant, defending his right to question the narrative and expressing his skepticism toward the mainstream response to the pandemic. While Harrelson has always been known for his unconventional views and free-spirited nature, his comments during the pandemic put him at odds with many of his fans and fellow celebrities, revealing a side of him that continues to challenge the status quo, sometimes to the point of controversy. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for more deep dives into the untold stories of your favorite stars.